Hey guys, welcome back to Project E. A little bit different look, man. I'm sitting in a house and I'm behind a computer. It's kind of, yeah, believe it or not, I use a computer. I don't use it much. I use it for this, Google Earth. I've caught more bass in my career looking at this computer than you can ever imagine. It's a game changer for me. It's a deal that I can't believe I'm sharing, but I want to help you become better. And if you will listen to me on this, you'll catch fish that just, it'll blow your mind what you can do with this when you start talking about going back in time, looking at lakes and lower levels, looking at so many different things, watercolor, current. You can see it all right here on this Google Earth. And guys, it's gonna help you. This is a video you're gonna wanna watch. This is a video that you're gonna be like in awe the first time if you've never used Google Earth. Because it's a game changer. So let's dive off into it. I'm gonna show you what I do. I'm gonna just kind of dive off into it. So when I'm talking about Google Earth, it's Google Earth Pro. It's something that you need to have downloaded on your computer. I just got it right here on my computer. This thing travels with me wherever I go. And this only works on a computer. You know, I look at Google Earth on my iPad, I look at it on my phone, but what I'm gonna talk about is only on a computer because I can go back in time. And that's the key. That's the whole key to being able to look at these lakes under different water levels. You know, Google Earth is a great tool, just the most current photo, but when you can go back in time and look at a lake flooded, you can look at a lake low, you can look at it muddy, you can look at it clear, it tells you so much more. I mean, you can just see so much. I can see current, I just can't begin to describe. I mean, when I say I spend time doing this on certain bodies of water, I may spend 3, 4, 5 hours a day for a week studying Google Earth, and I'll have 2,000 waypoints that I've marked on this map and then that I transfer over to my depth finder. And I do, I mean, that's it. The amount of hours, I think that's where I'm probably getting other people, you know, because I'll spend weeks on this thing. You know, I may be up till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning after the first day of practice, you know, when I figured out something, marking maybe a riprap bank with a dock or a lay down on a point and just going around that entire lake, marking every single one of them. And I think that's, you know, it's a big part of my success. And I'm gonna try to teach you guys what I'm looking for, what I do. And we'll see from there. This lake that I've got pulled up right here is Lake Conroe. I've had a lot of success at Conroe. You know, I was really high in the Classic. I think I was in second or third or first going into the final day, and then I got super stubborn the final day and didn't get it done. Finished 6th in the Texas Toyota Bass event there. I won the Bass Pro Tour event there, and it's a prime example of a lake that I can spend weeks on at Google Earth. And you can go all the way around that lake and then turn around, go all the way back around it again and see something else. And so I'm gonna close this out right here just so you can see. We're doing a screen share. So this photo right here, when you pull up Google Earth and you look at this photo right here was taken 1/18 of 2020. So that's the latest photo. That's what it looks like. You know, to me, if I zoom in on, you know, some particular area right here, the lake's full. You know, it's right up to all the seawalls. It's full. But then when I hit this little button right down here, 1995, this is historical imagery back to 1995. So you hit that one time and it takes you all the way back to a photo from 1995. But then when you start scrolling through some of these photos, you're gonna see one of them that the water's clear, one of them that it's muddy. And those are key things because, man, you wanna know what's clear, what's muddy, what clears up first. You can really study the lake and do that. As I go forward, you can see a wintertime photo, you can see a summertime photo, you can see the different levels. All of it to me is really neat. Here's a photo from February 2006. The water's a lot lower. Let's just keep going. Let's see how low of a photo we can actually get. 2010, 2011. Look at that one. It is a drought. That thing is down, big time low. So that's gonna be the lowest photo. Now, just because that's the lowest photo doesn't mean necessarily that's the only photo I use. I just going through there, right, you know, you saw some photos where the water was clear. You see some photos with some grass beds. You know, a lot of that water willow or brush, you know, you can go back and in the spring, there'll be some of that underneath the water that you might not see. So let's just take this photo right here. 11 of 2011. And what I will do, I've got it set right here at 1,888 feet. So that's the distance out. And I'm all the time adjusting that. Sometimes I want to be out and I'm going to look at it from a really broad spectrum. You know, I'll see that we've got a ditch cut in right here. It looks like 2 hard spots on each side. This is just a broad spectrum. Lots of dredging going on in this lake. Kind of cool. Oh, right here. This is a prime example. This is a good one. This is a dadgum good one right here. All right, I'm gonna zoom in right here. Look at this. And this, you know, my Lowrance map, my Navionics map, those things are super key to my day in, day out, everything. But it's not gonna show me that rock pile right there. You know, that rock pile, I've caught some big ones off that thing. And it's just an amazing, amazing rock pile. It's a really good one. Let me show you my starting spot in the Classic and why I started there. If you remember, man, those first 2 days in the Classic, I caught them big time, but this was my starting spot. You're gonna see right here just a little bit of rocks up against the seawall. That's why, I mean, man, when I went down through there and practiced, I had my jig covered up and I had like 4 or 5 bites. And then you're gonna see 2 concrete pillars out here in the water. So if I was to put that in the current photo, I just wanna show you that stuff's right there and right out there. I mean, it's just prime spots that man, I know I can pull up, I can make one cast on that. So you ask, how do you make that cast? You know, and that's what we're gonna really get into probably in the second portion of this video, is how to load this stuff on your unit. But you know, like what I will do right there is I hit this little yellow thing right here. That's if I leave my cursor, add place marks. I hit that one time, scoop my map over, here it is right here. And I am going to zoom in as far as I can zoom in. And generally that's around 900, 800 feet before your screen starts to tilt. And I'm gonna put that waypoint dead center on that rock. And then I'm gonna name that waypoint rock, because that's what it is. Look at that good typing. All right, now I'm gonna put another one on that next one. So I got that thing zoomed in right there. Name it rock. You'll also see right here, here's the waypoint. That's the numbers, you know, but when I do this, by the end of the day, and if I go all the way around this lake, you know, I'm gonna have hundreds of waypoints. So then like right here, I got hit okay. Right here, I've got riprap on the seawall. So I may just type in RP seawall. Just to me, I'll know what that abbreviation is, riprap on the seawall. Okay, now I go around here, guys, just look at this. Look at the brush pile right out here on the tip of this point. I would mark that. I mean, I will mark every place that I think I might catch a bass, because you never know what you're gonna establish, what kind of pattern you're gonna establish when you get there. And it just gives me hundreds and thousands of starting spots. You know, when I pull into a pocket, I feel like I know every piece of cover in this pocket prior to ever being there that's, say, less than, you know, this photo here. And that's something else we need to talk about. You need to really determine how low the water is in your photo. You know, you can go do all this research and mark all this stuff. Well, when you get there, the lake's that low already, it's not gonna help you any. But I know from a fact, this is a really low photo, and it's 7 to 8 feet deep in this photo. So that's something you gotta know. You gotta know it's very, very important what the water levels are and how, you know, so you know what depth you're looking when you get back. So I'm just gonna mark this one BR for brush. Hit okay. And I just, again, I'm going really fast here, but like, look, there's a rock pile right there. There's just so many little things I'll mark. You look right here, I've got a pipe that drains. So I know there's a pipe let's say you're in a rainy tournament and the water's running through pipes. Well, you can see right here up on the streets, a culvert right there goes underneath, and that culvert comes out right there. You would never, ever, ever know that pipe was there when the water's full. Never. It's up underneath the seawall. It's up underneath a dock. So now, you know, I would mark that right there, pipe or culvert. I've got it marked on some group of something. There's another one right there. You can see where that water comes out. There it is right there in the street. Water's gonna come out right there. So, man, if I got a rainy tournament, man, I'm gonna go run all these culverts. Just coming around the corner here, you can see you got a hard spot right here, just some rocks. You've got, I spend days and days and days doing this. I've got a brush pile right out here. I've got, you can mark deep docks. You know I've been there in the past. You can see this dock right here. See how we got water right up here on this dock? Well, that's a deeper stretch of seawall right there. You know, it's just same thing right there. It's just a dredged out deeper set of seawall. And that's what I do. I will go around a lake and I will just mark everything. I mean, I got a log, I got rocks. I'll come back in this pocket. I've got, you know, little spawning flats on each side. It's deeper water. I would mark this as a deeper canal. You've got all this shallow water out here, then you get in the back, it's a little bit deeper staging area. Yeah, this is cool here. I mean, this is, look at this here. You can see exactly what's on this hump, you know, just a high spot, a hump right there. You come through, you've got another one right here, another hard spot right here. When you really dive off into it and study it, guys, you can just learn so much about your body of water. You can see all this depth. You can see I got clay versus mud banks right here. You can just get as detailed as you want to get when you're studying Google Earth. And I'm telling you, I live and die by this Google Earth. It's an amazing, amazing tool for me. Man, another lake that this worked, I mean, there's lots of them, I don't ever want to say, but one of them that really sticks out in my mind was we had an all-star event, and it was in Illinois on out of Decatur, and I'd never been to Shelbyville. I actually lived in Illinois, but I'd never ever in my life fished Shelbyville. Didn't know anything about it, and I studied it and studied it and studied it. But the reason I think of this event is I went over this lake for a week, and when I show you right here what I found, I'm zooming in on it right here. This is the lowest photo of the lake, but man, this does not look like much. But if you'll look right there, right there, and right there, and right there is 4 stumps way out off this flat. I marked all 4 of those. I pulled up there the tournament day and caught like a couple 4-pounders. And, you know, it was one of those deals that propelled me to do really good in that tournament. Guys, I've got tons of examples like this. Okay, so I'm gonna go through, this is a lake right here, you know, that I'm enjoying going to new lakes. You guys that follow my channel know that I like going to new lakes and the challenge of fishing new lakes. This is one of them I've got on my radar that I've never been to and that I've heard about, Lake Bonham in North Texas. It's one that I hope to get down there soon and go fish. So I'm gonna walk through it. I'm gonna show you what I look for. You know, I just pulled it up. I noticed that the newest photo is 3 of 2017. They don't have very many photos of it. This may not be a good one to pick. I like to get on zoomed in just because the photos kind of changed. I'm at 1,600 feet. Let's go back here and just see. 2014 is the next photo. It's not low, but it's clear. I can see stuff out in the water. April 2012, it's really up and I can't see anything in the water. It's high. This lake doesn't fluctuate any. There's only about 5 photos to choose from. So with that said, the 2 best photos by me looking at it is the latest because the water's clear, and the one right before it because the water's calm. It doesn't have any ripples on it, so I can actually see in the water a lot better. And I just noticed, bam, there's a brush pile. There's some stumps, stump, stump, stump. So I would just literally go down through there and I would mark every one of those. And I would just go around the shoreline. And I may not ever fish. You know, guys, when I say I'm gonna mark everything, I mark hundreds of stuff. It doesn't mean I'm ever gonna fish any of it or a little of it, but I know when I pull into this pocket that I've got something to fish when I'm already in there. You know, it looks to me like there's cattails all the way around this thing. So, you know, switching between these photos, this water's definitely lower right here. There's some sort of grass. I'm gonna know if I'm flipping down this bank of whatever it is that, hey, Edwin, there's a stump out there to your right. Make an extra pitch out to the right. And it's something that I never would have done prior to doing this research on Google. You know, looking at this, if this is cattails, you know, I would be able to tell, hey, that's a deep stretch right there. That's deep green water right there. So I would mark that as a deep stretch of cattails. That's something I would take away from this Google Earth. I would mark, that's a stump. I got a stump right in the dead center of that pocket. I would never have known that stump was there had I not been on this Google Earth. You know, this right here, that tells me there's some sort of beaver hut in there. You can see all those trails going right there. So there's got to be a beaver hut right there because that's the only thing that would dig trails in there like that. I'll be curious though, if somebody watching this video is from that area, I think this is cattails. That's just what it looks like to me. I'm pretty curious. I'd be curious to know if that's what it is. You can see this stretch of cattails here. This is definitely shallower, and then bam, right there is a deep stretch. So, you know, you may flip all the way around this and not get any bites and stop right here and leave. Well, I'm gonna mark that as a deep stretch. That's gonna keep me going down that cattail stretch and know, hey, it's just gonna tell me a lot. It gives me confidence when I go to a body of water. Look at these stumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stumps right around that point. A couple more right there. Kind of cool. That's how I do it, guys. That was just a really brief look at this lake. I hope to get down there and do a Project E on it, you know, just try to, I've never been on it. It's a lake that I've always wanted to go to. I've heard about it. Kind of an old lake. It doesn't look like it's got a lot of cover in it, but it looks kind of neat. So that's what I look for. I'm gonna look for deeper stretches, you know, and this is probably a good example because this lake right here is not one of the best examples of Google Earth because the lake doesn't fluctuate a lot. I don't have a 7, 8, 9 foot low lake picture to look at, but I still can learn something from it by looking out in that clear water. I can see a stump that's out off the bank that I wouldn't know was there when I'm flipping down that bank. So that's how I do it. There it is, guys. This is like one of those things that I have caught a bazillion bass through my career over the last 20 years using Google Earth, and especially the last probably 12, 13 years is when I really figured it out. And probably about 8 years ago, I figured out how to take those waypoints and switch them over onto a chip and put them right into my Lowrance. So in the next video, I'm going to teach you how to do that. This video is hard for me to do, guys, because I'm giving you the deal that's, I catch a lot of fish. You'd just be amazed at how many fish I can catch looking at this screen. You know, there's been many nights, you know, after the first tournament day, I discovered they moved to channel swing banks with a lay down on them, and I'll go through that night laying in bed and I'll put 20 waypoints on my screen. I'll load them onto the chip, then the next morning when I get in my boat, I load them onto my Lowrance. So in the next video, I want to teach you guys how to do that because it's going to save you a bunch of time. You don't ever want to write those numbers down. We're also going to have to make one adjustment in your Lowrance to accept the Google format. We'll go through all that. I'll make it super simple. With that said, man, hit that bell. I guess that bell is going to give you a notification when this next video comes along. I appreciate you guys subscribing. Send me some comments and send me some pictures of the first bass you catch, finding some isolated stump or some isolated laydown that you didn't know was there, that you found on Google Earth, because it'll happen. It's happened to me throughout my whole career, and it's a game changer, like an all-time game changer. People ask all the time, man, Edwin, what's a secret lure? Like, what's a lure you got that I don't have? It's right here, I promise you. It's not some secret lure. I got some good ones, but it's not the best one or one of them that's day in, day out really good on every body of water. This one right here is. It can really help you. It's a great thing to do in the house when it's raining like it is right now, and you can catch some fish doing it. So hope you guys are enjoying Project E. Be sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and hit the bell so you'll know when this next video is coming up. Have a good time. See you.